So I don't know what's up with U.S. immigration. As you know, when my grandpa passed away, I was right at the end of my contract at Sanborn High School, and so I had to come to the United States like within 10 days of the end of that contract. That way the school would still pay for the airplane ticket. So I came very quickly to the United States after that. My husband, however, had some work to finish because even though he has a home business, he had a lot of customers. He had to fill some orders and advertising stuff and websites. So he had to finish that before he could come. And we thought it'd take about a month. So he was going to follow me 1 month later. But in September, when he tried to get a tourist visa to come here for 6 months, but they wouldn't allow him to have the tourist visa. They said apparently it was because he didn't have property in Korea or something like that. So they probably suspected that he was going to come here and try to stay. I went ahead and I applied for his immigrant visa. We waited and waited. Thanksgiving came and Thanksgiving went. Still no word from immigration. And my husband wanted to surprise me and come for Christmas and spend Christmas and our anniversary together. He applied for a visa waiver, which is for 3 months, and he got it. And when he arrived in Detroit, they arrested him at the airport, made him sleep in prison, and sent him back to Korea the next day. They wouldn't even let him transfer flights. I didn't even get to see him. My mom called the immigration office at the Detroit airport. The immigration officer wouldn't answer her, so I talked to him, and I asked him, so what's the problem? What did my husband do wrong? And he said, I can't tell you that. And I said, why not? Some kind of privacy issue. And I said, well, my husband is right there next to you. Can't you ask him for permission and then you can tell me? He said, it doesn't work that way. Just this plain robot voice. So far, everyone that I've talked to at immigration sounds like a robot. I think they train the humanity out of these people before they can work for immigration. It's awful. So I wrote letters to the senators, to our 2 senators and a congressman. I heard back from both of the senators. Someone from Senator Kirk's office called me and talked to me about it, and then she called immigration on my behalf and asked them what was going on. So they hadn't even started working on my husband's immigrant visa yet. They hadn't even looked at the paperwork yet. Apparently it's standard procedure for immigration office to, when they receive information or receive an application for an immigrant visa, they just let it sit on a desk for 5 months before they even start working on it. It's actually kind of good that my husband wasn't able to come when he tried, because shortly after he got back to Korea, my mother-in-law got sick. She's, mostly it's just because of stress related to her work in the shop. It's a fishing shop, fishing and camping supply store. My husband's trying to take over that business, and so I don't think he'll be able to come to the U.S. because in the summer they're more busy than they are all winter. They get a lot of business during the summer, so he really needs to stay there and help mother and father-in-law with the fishing shop, and I hope I can be back there with him soon. I've applied for some jobs in Korea. I've applied for another teaching job through Work and Play, and hopefully I will hear back from them soon. I'd really like to work at a public school again. I miss teaching so much. I just recently edited a video of one of my lessons, and that wasn't even one of my favorite lessons. It was just, I happened to have the camera at school that day and videotaped it. And just watching my lesson and hearing my students' voices, I miss that. I really miss Korea. I miss my husband, and I miss my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, my grandmother-in-law. I just really want to see them again, and I just ache to go back.